Mm. So if you ask me anything, please unmute yourself and talk. The chat box, I will not able to access to the chat box all the time since I'm using only one computer. Okay. I posted the sample test and the review sheet a long time ago. As long as you study this sample test, you'll be fine. In your exam, I'll try to give less than what we have here. So here we have so many questions. Most of them will be in the exam. I'll just cut down some questions. Like for example, here, instead of 3 questions, I'll give you only one of them to do. Distance, compound continuously, change of base, compound quarterly, population. I'll give all of these questions. So the sample test is very similar to the actual exam. In here, actually all of these are final exam questions. So I don't even know which to cut down or which one to not to give you. I'll give both of these. I'll give, yeah, maybe I'll cut down only 1 or 2 questions, but everything else you see here will be in the actual exam. So population, there are 2 questions. Probably I'll give only 1 of them instead of 2. Inverse function, tangent line, circle, yeah, log graph, exponential graph, one-to-one function, composition, decomposition. So everything will be in the exam. Yeah, that means you have to study this entire sample test, and you'll see the same thing in the actual exam, just the numbers are different. Okay. Any question before we start? So my plan for today is to going over this sample test. Any question before we start from anyone? Any comments? Concern? No?
Excuse me, ma'am. I have a concern. I gotta leave for my next class, like 11 o'clock. I gotta catch the train. Is that okay if I leave in the middle of class?
Okay, no problem. Just watch the recording.
Thank you.
Okay, so, okay, Jack, no problem. All of you are going to leave? Okay, no problem. Then, I already posted it long time ago on Brightspace. You guys didn't even check that. So if all of you want to leave, no problem. I have another classes 12:25. So I'm gonna go over these questions again in my second class. So if you want to join, you can also join if you have time. Uh, yeah, Jack. I posted the review sheet long time ago before I got sick. Let me start. And I'll check after 1 hour who is online and who is not. So whatever I covered in 1 hour, I'll start the review from the next section. Not next section, from the next part in my second class. Make sure to watch the recording, okay? Make sure you know how to do all of these questions. And exam will be Thursday in person, okay? Whether it doesn't matter the weather, okay? Your exam has to be on Thursday, and then we have the rest of the days, no, the few more classes. We have to do a review for the final. Okay, so please study. Don't do bad like the last exam, and good luck in your exam. So our review starts with composition, decomposition. In the composition, if you remember or not, in order to compose, you put one function inside another function. So, mm, mhm. Oh, maybe I should open this page. Um, Okay, what's better? Then the first question is asking for f of g of x. Maybe in that I'm going to get g of f of x. The order doesn't matter as long as you know which one goes inside. So our g function is inside. That means we need to put g inside the f. So this g function will go inside the f function. In the f function, where is cx? The f of g of x is square root of this g function 2x squared minus 3. And then from here, we have a plus 1 in the f function. And that's it. We can't do anything, so we just leave it alone. This is the final answer. Once we compose, we stop. In the next one, it's similar, but this time they're telling us evaluate the composite function for x equals -1. So you have two choices. Either find the composite function and then substitute x with -1, or start with the number from the beginning. In the inside, we have f of -1, so we can find what is f of -1 directly from the f function. So if f of x is -3x, f of -1 is -3 times -1, that gives us +3. That means g of f of -1 basically means g of 3 because we just found f of -1 is 3. So we go to the g function and we substitute every x with 3. So we get 3q plus 3 minus 3. We get 27 plus 3 minus 3 cancel out. The answer is just 27. That's all we have to do. Any question? If you guys have any questions, stop me, okay? Stop me and ask a question. The next one is decomposition. So I'll give few decomposition just like these three. Yeah. So actually the sample test will be a final actual exam, okay? I'll just put less questions, maybe 2 or 3 less questions. But the setting, the setup, the outline, everything will be same as this exam. So in the first
I have a question.
decomposition, go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead, go ahead.
For number 3, didn't you say that you can have like multiple answers for the same portion? Like
Yes.
different ways you can do it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So do
okay.
you have anything in mind for the first one?
Isn't it absolute value x and then 10x minus 3 separate?
So which one is F and which one is G?
Absolute value of x is f, and then g of x is 10x minus 3.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. So this is one of them. The other one could be 10x is G and absolute value of x minus 3 could be F. But this one is more suitable one. In the next one, similar. It's G is inside. So maybe in the exam, I'm going to go with F inside and G outside, like this one. So be very careful, guys. So G is inside, so it's up to you what do you want to do. For me, when when I talk about inside, I see something that is inside radical or inside power. So instead of radical, I have x minus 3. So this will go as the inner function. And if you replace that with x, then everything else is the outer function. So 5 square root of plus 2. We took the inside out, so we'll leave that inside part with x. And the last one, now f is
Good,
inside.
good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. I'm sorry I'm late. I apologize for being a little late, miss. You know, my fault. But like, I came to the library so I could lock in on this test. So I'm ready. You know,
Good job, Omar. The rest of the class, they are telling me
miss,
they're going to leave soon because they have to go to school. But you're the smart one. You're already in school. You're in school, right?
miss. But yeah, I'm in school already. I just came, because it saves me transportation and whatnot.
Mhm.
Girk, are you cooking right now? Okay, okay. I thought he was cooking right now.
Yeah, no. I just finished cooking my breakfast, gangster, and my lunch. You feel me? Gotta get
You
ready.
sound, bro?
Bro, I
You
just
should
packed my
cook for
lunch
the
box.
class, gang.
Gangster, I'm chilling. All right.
You should cook for the class, though.
Word? Nah, next time.
Yeah, you should. I ain't gonna lie.
Everything halal, bro. Everything halal. Don't worry.
Good. Do you cook by
Lock
yourself?
in, lock in.
Yeah, yeah, gangster.
That's wonderful. Okay, and the last one, our F is inside. So the denominator could be inside. We have 5x minus 9 as inner function. And 1 over x could be the outer function. See, that's why I had the class online today. I didn't want to cough in front of you guys. Any question on decomposition?
No question. Is there gonna be extra credit like the past tests?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now the most fun questions is this one. Find out whether this function, the graph of this function, are these the graph of one-to-one function? So before you do one-to-one function, always think about whether they're function or not. Some function may fail horizontal line test, but pass the vertical line test, or the other way around. So you always have to check both of them, even though you didn't ask here, but you always have to check whether it's a function or not. And then if it's a function, whether it's a one-to-one function or not. Who asked me something? So vertical line test
Still
is
being recorded?
yes, I'm recording this. Vertical line gives
Alright.
us function, and horizontal line test gives us one-to-one function. So you have to check both of them. First, start with vertical line test. This pass vertical line test, so it's a function. And then the horizontal line test. It also passed the horizontal line test, so it's a one-to-one function. So all you have to do is draw your vertical and horizontal line. If it passes both of them, then you say yes, it's a one-to-one function. In the next one, it passed vertical line test, means the function, but it failed horizontal line test because it crosses the horizontal line twice. So it's not a one-to-one function. In the next one, it passes vertical line test, also horizontal line test. So yes. In the exam, I'm going to give something that will pass vertical line, that will pass horizontal line test, but will fail vertical line test. So vertical line test pass, horizontal line test fail. So it's no. One of the example why it's function, but why it passed the one-to-one function, but failed to become a function is something like this. This example, it passed horizontal line test. So it looks like it's a one-to-one function. However, it's not one-to-one function because it's not even a function. It failed vertical line test. So vertical line test is telling you it's not even a function. So it doesn't matter whether it passed horizontal line test or not. It failed the original one. It failed to be human. So if it's not a human, it does like talking about human things on this doesn't even make sense. So in order to be a one-to-one function, first it has to be a function. So all of these, you need to do two tests, vertical line test and horizontal line test. The next question is bloody, but in the exam you're going to get something not bloody. It says, which of these is true? The first one says it's a polynomial with degree 3, means it's a cubic function. It's definitely not a cubic function because this is the shape of a cubic function. So this is wrong. The next one says the one-to-one function. So one-to-one function pass the horizontal line test. This one failed horizontal line test. So this is not a one-to-one function. B says it has no inverse. Well, no inverse means it's not one-to-one function. Only one-to-one function can have inverse. So since it doesn't have any inverse, in other words, it's not a one-to-one function, which is true. So for now, let's keep it. And look at the last one. It's a polynomial of degree 1. Polynomial of degree 1 means something like this, y equals x to the 1, which is a line. Definitely it's not a line, so the fourth one is wrong. That means the only correct one is B. It doesn't have any inverse, means it's not a one-to-one function. Any question?
Do you have to show work for this?
No.
Okay.
Next is graph. One is exponential, one is logarithm. And when you do graph, make sure first you draw the original graph at the origin. And then for exponential, you have a horizontal asymptote. For logarithmic, you have a vertical asymptote. Horizontal asymptote means a horizontal line. Vertical asymptote means a vertical line. So horizontal asymptote, since a horizontal line, it will have an equation y equals something. For vertical, it's a vertical line, so it will have x equals something. Now, where do we get this? For exponential, your horizontal asymptote is up-down shifting. So here we are moving 2 units down. That should be horizontal asymptote. For logarithmic, you have to solve it. So you take your x here, and then you solve for x. So you set it equals to 0, and when you solve for x, you get x equals 3. That's your vertical asymptote. And those asymptotes are the line, the boundary that you cannot cross. So when you draw, try drawing your asymptote first. But before that, this is our x and y axis. So the original one, exponential graph, always goes to the y value 1. This is the original one, 3 to the power x. Now, this graph, you're going to shift. Negative means it's a reflection about the x-axis. There is a number on the power next to the x, means left, right, opposite direction. So -1 supposed to go left 1, but actually it goes right 1. And then up, down is usual. Negative means down, positive means up. So this telling us go down 2. Now when you draw, first you always have to start with the reflection. And when you reflect, you're going to reflect this y-intercept. This y-intercept, when you reflect, it goes here as -1. So +1, the reflection of +1 is the -1. So you change +1 to -1, and then that -1, you're going to move around. Right 1, down 2. So right 1 is here, and then down 1, down 2 is here. So you're going to draw that graph downward, and this is the new position. And the line you cannot cross is y equals -2. So you're going to draw your boundary here. This is the line that you cannot cross, y equals -2. So when you draw, make sure you draw your walk. So see here, I first indicated the y-intercept, and then the reflection of the y-intercept. That y-intercept, I walked. So I want to see you walk. If you don't show me you walk, then you're not going to get points. Only by showing walk, I can see how did you move. So please show your work when you draw your graph. Same scenario is logarithmic. The original log graph goes to the x value 1. So it doesn't have any reflections. We don't have to worry about that. We take this x equals 1 And here we are going left 3, up 2. So you take this x-intercept, go 1 left, 2 left, 3 left, and then from that 3 left, you're going to up 2. So up 1, up 2 here. This is your new point, and the line you cannot cross is x equals. Oh, my bad. It's not left 3, it's right 3. It's minus sign. So this is right 3. So from here you go 1, 2, 3, 3 right, and then 1 up, 2 up here. And the line you cannot cross is 3. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This is the line you cannot cross. So when you draw your graph, you draw the same green graph, but here. And you also have to indicate the green one is, let's change the color. This is normal log base 4 of x without any transformation. And this one is the transformation one. Log base 4 of x minus 3 plus 2. And this line is x equals 3. This is y equals -2. So you have to indicate all of this. And so original graph 1 point, vertical asymptote will be 2 points, 1 point here for drawing, and this one will be 1 or 2 points, 1 for the variable and 1 for the number. So if you're missing a variable, you're going to lose points. And then your other graph, the transformation one. Any question? In the next one, you're going to expand. And we expand based on how many elements you have. On the numerator, we have 2. So everything on the numerator gets positive sign, and everything on the denominator gets negative sign. And denominator also has a radical, so you need to separate your radical. So if you look at the denominator, it's square root of y to the 7 and square root of z to the 5. And then you have to write them as an exponent, not as a radical. So you get power over the denominator 2, which is square root, z to the power 5 over the denominator 2. And then you write down log 5 times. So log 5 and then plus log x to the 6. These are the numerator, so we connect them with the plus sign. And now everything is in the denominator gets the negative sign. So negative log of 3 minus log of y to the power 7/2 minus log of z to the power 5/2. And when it says simplify, it means you cannot leave your exponent. Log hates exponent, so every exponent you see, you need to convert them into coefficients. So you get log of 5 plus 6 log of x minus log of 3 minus 7 half log of y minus 5 half log of z. And if you see the simplified version, you cannot simplify anymore. Any question on this? Does anybody have any question?
No, no question much.
Okay, thank you. The next one is the other way around. Every coefficient you see, turn them into exponent first. So I see one coefficient here, one coefficient here, and then another coefficient here. So step one, every coefficient turn into power, and then based on the sign, some of them will go on the numerator, some of them will go on the denominator. So this one is log x cubed minus log y plus log z squared minus log of w to the 7. So you're going to write a big log, and then based on the sign, we are going to put down the numerator or denominator. The first one has invisible plus, so this goes on the numerator. The next one has a minus, so y has to go on the denominator. This one is plus, so z squared will go on the numerator. This is minus, so w to the 7 will go on the denominator. And then that's it. You put a parenthesis around the argument. So plus means on the numerator, minus means on the denominator, the arguments. In the next one, you're going to first write the circle in standard form. Standard form means x minus h squared, and always plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. So whatever is given, rewrite into that form. And once you have this form, then you're going to find the rest. So to do that, we'll bring x together, y together. So we get x squared minus 6x plus y squared plus 8y. And this 11 we don't need, so we add 11 to both sides. We complete the square. So x goes inside, square goes outside. Y goes inside, square goes outside. And then we add something extra inside. Whatever we have here, we divide it by 2, that goes inside, which is -3. In the outside, we're going to subtract, always subtract the same thing with a square. So -3 squared means 9. Here we have 8. Half of 8 is 4. So we add 4 because this time it's a plus 4 plus 8. And outside, we're going to subtract that 4 with a square, which is 16. And then this 9 and 16, we don't need them. These are extra on the left side. So we are going to add 9 on the right side and add 16 on the right side. So there is nothing extra on the left. We get x minus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared And when you add all of them, you get 20, 30, 36 on the right side. So this is, oh, in this exam, you need a calculator. So please make sure bring a scientific calculator in the exam day. This exam will have two parts. In the first part, you're not allowed to use calculator. I'm going to give you the first part. You're going to complete them, return your exam, and then in the last 30 minutes or so, you're going to take the second part with the calculator. So this is the standard form. Once you have a standard form, finding the center is opposite sign from the inside. So here, so center, we have -3, so you're going to take +3. Here you have +4, so you're going to take -4. To find the center, you take the opposite sign from the inside. So 3, -4. And our radius is square root of that quantity, which is 6. Once you have your center radius, then either you can graph it and find the domain range, or you can find the domain range from center and radius. So let me graph first. Our center is 3, -4. 3, -4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the center. From the center, you're going to go radius units in all four directions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you connect all of them with a circle. It doesn't look like a circle, but assume it's a circle. Now to find the domain, you just go to the smallest x value, which is here, -3, to the largest x value, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's from -3 to 9 inside a bracket because you don't see any hole. If you see a hole, then it's a parenthesis. If you don't see any hole, then it's a bracket.
Miss,
Or
instead of finding it through the circle, you could do the formula like h
yeah.
plus or minus the radius, and then to find range k
Mm,
plus or minus radius, right?
yes. So for domain, it will be the h value. So this is h and this is k. H minus radius, h plus radius. This is the domain. For range, this is k minus radius and k plus radius. So you can get them from the graph, or just use this and then you get the formula. I mean, you get the domain range. So our k is -4. If you use the formula, it's -4 minus 6, -4 plus 6. So that gives us -10 to +2, and which is true. See, our y value is 2, and the lowest y value have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, -10. So -10 to 2 is the range, and -3 to 9 is your domain. Any question? The next one is talking about tangent line. So if you remember, tangent line is a line that is perpendicular to the radius. So we need to use the idea of perpendicular slope. The first you need to know what type of slope radius has. You change its sign and flip the fraction. That will tell you what's the slope of the tangent line. So the slope of radius is y over x, or y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is same as y over x. So you can simply write your y -5, your x is 12. That tells us the slope of the tangent line. The slope of the tangent line will have opposite sign and reciprocal of the fraction. So it will be positive 12 over 5. And that tangent line goes through x1, y1, 12, -5. So y minus y1 slope, x minus x1. Our y1 is -5, so it's negative, -5, double negative. Our slope is 12 over 5, and our x value is 12. So x here, y on the other side, you get y plus 5. You distribute, you get 12 over 5x and 144 over 5. So 12 over 5 times 12, you multiply the numerator only, keep the denominator. The last thing you do is subtract 5, because you have to have y alone. So y is 12 over 5x minus 144 over 5. And this 5, we can write 25 over 5. You multiply top and bottom by 5 so that you can have the same denominator. Now you have the same sign. That means you are going to add the numerator. You're going to add negative 144 minus 25 over the denominator. So y equals 12 over 5x minus 169 over 5. That's the equation of the tangent line. Now, if you don't want to do that, there is another way, shortcut, but you have to remember it correctly. This y-intercept is the radius square divided by the y value. So it's radius square over y. So its slope is y over x for the for the radius. So if you flip it, you get the slope of the tangent line. Basically, the tangent line, it has slope negative x over y. So we have negative 12 over -5, which is 12 over 5. And your y-intercept is the radius square, the given radius square over the y. That's the shortcut. So if you do your shortcut,
You have.
you have to tell me these two.
I was gonna say, you have to make the x negative as well, right?
You put one negative, and based on what you have. So we have x is 12, y is -5. Now, when I said
Go negative, so it cancels out.
negative x over y, It means negative 12 over negative 5. So it's 12 over 5. So you have two ways. Either do everything in details, or if you don't want to do everything in details, make sure you tell me the formula for slope of the tangent line and the y-intercept of the tangent line. If you tell me these two, then I'll give you full points. But you have to write the equation in this format, y equals mx plus b. Okay. In the next one, finding the inverse. Inverse we find using 3 steps. In the first step, you need to see a y. So if you don't see a y, rewrite the equation using a y. So we have y equals 6x plus 1 over 5. Once you see your y, then swap x and y. So you write x equals 6y plus 1 over 5. So step 1, get a y. Step 2, swap them. And now step 3, solve for y. The y you see here, get this y alone. So to get this y alone, first we need to get rid of the denominator. So multiply both sides by denominator so they cancel out. We get 5x equals 6y plus 1. Now to get the y alone, we need to get rid of 1. So subtract 1 from both sides. You get 5x minus 1 is 6y. And then you divide both sides by 6. Whatever you have here, that's the inverse function. The 3 steps. Get the y, swap x and y, and then solve for y. So everything is about y, y, and y. The next one is an exponential function. Word problem with the exponential function. And you don't need calculator because the numbers are smaller. It says if the population size of a bacteria at time t is given by this equation, at what time the population size will be 160. So this is the population size, and it's given by 5 times 2 to the t. So the size of the population is 5 times 2 to the t. They're telling us our size is 160. So this number you see is 160 5 times 2 to the t. And they want us to solve for t. So to solve for t, first we need to get rid of the 5. So I divide both sides by 5. Now, if you want to divide manually, 5 goes to 16 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. When you subtract, you get 10. Bring down the 0, so you get 10. 5 goes to 10 twice. So this is 32 equals 2 to the power t. Now we don't need calculator because our goal is to have the same base on both sides. So 32 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. In other words, if you write 2 5 times, then this turns into 32. So we rewrite this 32 as 2 to the 5. And on the other side, we have 2 to the t. Now, when you have the same base and nothing extra on both sides of the equal sign, we're allowed to cancel the bases. And we set the power equals to one another. And that's it. Any question? No.
I'm about to leave, so feel better. I'm gonna see you on Thursday, man.
Okay. Make sure to get a calculator on Thursday, okay?
Yeah, no
With-
problem.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. And also watch the rest of the recording.
Yeah, no problem. All right.
Now for question 14, you need to know your logarithmic properties. And we went over this in class, so please watch those. And I also try to post the lecture notes. I'll see. Anytime you are simplifying any logarithmic expression, your goal is to have your argument same as your base. So log of 100, we have the invisible base 10. So our goal is to rewrite 100 in terms of 10 so that we can cancel them. Now 100 is 10 squared. So we get log invisible base 10, and then the 100 is 10 squared. Why did we write argument using the base? Because when the argument and base same number, they cancel out, and whatever you have left to it, that's your answer. The same theory goes on the next one, D. We have log base 3. So our goal is to rewrite this 1/81 in terms of 3. 1/81 is 1/3 to the 4. Now 1/3 to the 4 is same as 3 to the negative, because previously we learned that if you have x to the negative 1, it's 1/x. If you have x to the negative 4, it should be 1/x to the positive 4. So we can rewrite any exponent using a negative power, so it will not be fraction anymore. So this 1/81 is same as 3 to the power negative 4. Again, why do we care? Because the base, log, and the argument 3, all of them cancel out. So left with negative 4. So that's our answer, negative 4. The next one looks like 32. It's base 3 and then 3 square. This one we don't have to do anything because it's already done. Everything is done for us. The argument 3, log, and base 3, all three things cancel out. So we're left with the 2. In N, you have a number raised to the power log base 3, and that log base 3 has argument 4x. Now this is another property. It says if you raise log on a power for a number, and if that number and the base are the same thing, then all three things cancel out. So whatever left, that's your answer. Here we have 1/1000. So our goal is to rewrite that using 10, because we have the invisible base 10 here. So 1000 is 10 cube. Now using same property as the previous one, we want to rewrite that using a negative power. So it's 10 to the negative 3. So we get log base 10, and 1/1000 is 10 to the negative 3. The 10, log, and base 10, all three things cancel out. So left with the -3 power. So you cannot cancel them if you don't have the number written as a power, written as an exponent. Like here, you cannot cancel because it's not written as a power. It's written as a fraction. For fraction, you cannot cancel. But only when you have a power, then you can cancel. Same thing, the last one. We have fifth root. We cannot cancel. We want to write root as a power. So we write ln e. Fifth root of e is same as e to the 1/5 power. So you write 1/5 power. So between e and ln, there is nothing. When there is nothing between e and ln, only then they cancel one another. So there is nothing left for e and ln. And we work with whatever the power we have, that's our answer. That's how we need to rewrite them as an exponent. Anytime you want to cancel your argument has to have a power so that you can cancel the argument with the base. Any question? These two are graphing question, but multiple choice. Now, this one looks like an exponential. So normal exponential goes to the y value 1. This one is 1 unit down. So 1 unit down means -1, single -1. So this cannot be true because this is not single, this is next to the x. Next to the x means select right. Okay, Jack, no problem. And this is not ln because ln is log. So this is not COD. So the only option we have for this graph is this one. The next one, it looks like a logarithmic graph. The normal logarithmic graph goes to the x value 1. So this is the original log graph. If you compare this with the other one, you are going right twice. So right twice means 2 next to the x, but the sign opposite. Right's supposed to be plus, but actually it's minus. So it's x minus 2 inside the parentheses. So this is not an exponential. This is not a cubic. This is not a parabola. This is not exponential. So A, C, D are out. And the difference between ln and difference between B and E is that B has -2 and E has -3. So if you compare with the original one, you are shifting 2 units to the right, not 3 units. That means this is the best choice. 2 units to the right from the original y equals log of x. Then solving logarithmic equation. You know how to solve logarithmic equation. There are 5 scenarios or 4 scenarios. I went over each of them in class. One of the scenario had more log on one side. So we had 2 logs. In order to solve it, first you need to combine them. Since between the 2 log we have a plus sign, so when you combine, we need to multiply them. So log of x minus 5, x plus 7, base 4 equals 3. So always need to convert. If you have more logs, convert them into one log. Why? Because based the next step will be convert the log into exponential. To convert log into exponential, we have to have only one log. We cannot have more than one log. So if two logs are adding, then you need to multiply their argument. If two logs are subtracting, then you're going to divide the argument. So we convert them into exponential with a cycle. The base gets the right side as a power, so 4 cubed, and we set that equals to the argument. So x minus 5, x plus 7 equals 4 cubed. We converted log into exponential, so it becomes normal polynomial. So you do FOILing method. You get x squared plus 7x minus 5x minus 35. And 4 cubed means 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. When you have a square and x term, square and x means bring everything to one side. Our goal is to see if we can factor it. So we have like terms here, and you're going to subtract 64. So we get x squared plus 2x minus, since we have same sign, we keep the sign, but actually add the numbers. So 5 and 4 gives us 9, 6 and 3 gives us 9, 99 equals 0. The two numbers, 99, 2. Can you think of two numbers multiply to 99 but combine to 2? Any idea?
Minus 11 and plus 9.
Other way around. The bigger number gets the middle sign. So plus 11 minus 9. Always remember the middle sign goes to the bigger factor. But yep. So we have x plus 11 equals 0. X minus 9 equals 0. So we get negative 11 and positive 9. But just because we got them, it doesn't mean we have to accept both of them. We have to check, does any of these make the argument negative? So we have log base 4, x minus 5, log base 4, x plus 7. When our x is negative 11, this becomes negative 11 minus 5, which is negative 16. We cannot have negative argument, so we cannot accept x equals negative 11. Then we have to check the other one, 9. When x is 9, this becomes 9 minus 5, 4. It's positive, so we accept. This becomes 9 plus 7, which is 16. It's positive, we accept. The only solution we're going to accept is x equals 9. And the negative 11, we have to disregard. Hmm. 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 Any question? Any question from anyone? No question. Okay. The next one on the right side is exponential. So let me erase this. In this example, we have both bases different from one another. and write the smaller base to the power something as the bigger base. So 8 is not 4 to the something. It's not possible. Since it's not possible, so we're going to rewrite both of them with something power. So we keep our power 4x minus 1 and 4x minus 4. 8 and 4, both of them are needs to be rewritten. So does anybody have any idea how can you rewrite both 8 and 4? Some number to the power. What number to the power we can use?
Two
2.
times, no, 4 times 2. I mean, to the power of 2. And then, yeah.
The 8 is 2 to the power what?
Oh, yeah, 2 to the power of 3. No, wait, not.
Yeah.
Actually. Oh, yeah.
And 4 is 2 to the power what?
2.
So we can only rewrite using a power, no multiplication. So when you do that, we have 2 powers next to one another. So we're going to multiply them. We get 2 to the 12x minus 3 equals 2 to the 8x minus 8, right? 4 times 2, 8, 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 3, 12, 3 times 1, 3. Now when you have the same base with different powers, we're allowed to cancel the bases. And we set the powers equal to one another. So 12x minus 3 equals 8x minus 8. Now it becomes normal algebraic equation. So we need to bring x's together. So it's subtract 8x. And at the same time, if you want, you can add the 3 so that one side gets the number and another side gets the variable. So I get 4x equals negative 5. Divide by 4. And x is negative 5 over 4. For exponential, we don't have to check the answer. But for log, we must check. Exponential doesn't have any problem. The answer could be positive, negative, fraction, whole number, anything. But for logarithmic, we cannot have negative argument inside the log. That's why log needs to be checked, but exponential, we don't care. Now, this question, I gave two of them here, but in the exam, I'm going to put only one of them. Let me do one because I'm so tired. Let me try this one. It has 2 terms. You're going to find all of them: vertex, axis of symmetry, xy intercept, graph, and identify the vertex as the minimum or maximum. So start with vertex. When you don't see vertex, we have to use a formula. The x value of the vertex. Does anybody remember what's the formula for the x value of the vertex?
Is it negative b over 2a?
Perfect. Negative b over 2a. So we have negative b is positive 12 and a is negative 2. So 12 over 2 times negative 2. That gives us 12 over negative 12 over negative 4, which is 3. So the x value of the vertex is 3. Now we need to know the y value of the vertex. To find the y value, all you have to do is replace every x you see with the number 3. So negative 2 times 3 squared plus 12 times 3. Pam does s to the parentheses and exponent first. That means you leave the negative 2 and you do 3 squared, which is 9. And 12 times 3 is 36. So we have negative 18, positive 36. We have two different signs, means you need to subtract, but keep the sign from the bigger number. Bigger number is 36, so answer will be positive. 18, 36 minus 18 is 18. So our vertex is 3, 18. Once you found our vertex, we also know axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is a line, a vertical line. So it's x equals the x value of the vertex. So axis of symmetry will have 2 points. One is for x equals and one is for the number. So if you're missing one of them, you're going to lose points. Next comes the x-intercept. To solve x-intercept, we set y to be 0 and we solve for x. So 0 equals negative 2x squared plus 12x. Since we have two terms, there are only two choices we have. Either we can use GCF. So anytime you have two terms, there are two choices. Either you can pull out the GCF if it's possible, or it's difference of perfect squares, if possible. So here we can clearly see they both have 2 and x in it. So you can pull out negative 2, x as a common factor. So it's GCF. We get x minus 6. So negative 2x equals 0 means x is 0. And we have x minus 6, 0 means x is 6. So this is factorable using GCF. So we found x-intercept. Now to find the y-intercept, we do the other way around. Let me do y-intercept here. We set x to be 0 and we solve for y. So y equals 0 plus 0, that gives us 0. Our y-intercept is 0. And then lastly, the graph. Oops. When you draw the graph, you put all the information. Our x-intercept is 0, 6. So one of them is 0, one of them is 6. Our y-intercept is 0, so it's here at the origin. Our vertex is 3, 18. So if this is 3 and this is 18, so we have 3, 18 here. Since our leading coefficient here is negative, so we are going to draw an upside down parabola. So this is the graph, and in the graph we see our vertex is the maximum point. So it's a maximum vertex, 2x value, 2x intercept, 1 y intercept, and then parabola. Any question on this one? No question. Okay, the next one is saying the graph of the quadratic function has a vertex to -1. And it goes to the point 1, 1. So we need to find the equation of the vertex. Equation of the parabola. Y equals some type of leading coefficient x minus h squared plus k. That's the vertex form of a parabola. Now, in this format, they're telling us our vertex means h and k is given and x and y is given. So this y is 1, this x is 1, our h is 2, and our k is -1. So we don't know what is a, so we keep our a, and then we substitute everything else to solve for a. Like PEMDAS, we're going to do PEMDA here first. It says parentheses and exponent. So leave our 1 equals 1 minus 2 is -1 square minus 1. So we add 1. So we get 2 equals -1 square is 1. So a times 1. In other words, our a is 2. When you get to a, we are going to substitute a, h, and k in the equation, and we get the parabola. Y equals 2x minus 2 squared minus 1. Every equation have to have an x and y. Oops. So we are going to leave our x and y into the final equation and substitute everything else. H, K, and A. Okay, man, no problem. Make sure to watch the rest of the recording. How long ago? This too much, so I'll try to make it smaller. The next question is asking for domain and range. So this one is easy. The domain is the smallest x value to smallest x value to largest x value. Which is smallest y value to the largest y value. So since the parabola is going on forever, the smallest x value is -infinity, largest x value is +infinity. So domain is from negative to +infinity. Now the range, the parabola is going on forever downward, so it's -infinity for the y, and the highest y we see is here, which is 1. So range, the smallest is -infinity, the highest is 1. 1 is a number, so it gets a bracket, and infinity is a symbol, so you get parentheses. So these are our domain and range. So you don't need any math here. You just have to observe the x and y. I'm gonna skip this question in the exam. It's too much. So let me skip that.
No, leave it, please. That's the only one I know how to do.
This one? Really?
It's easy.
How do you do that?
Okay. But it has 4 parts. So here I gave 4 parts, but in the exam I'm gonna ask only 1 part instead of 4 parts. Okay. So it says if a ball is
Do the first
thrown,
2 or the first 3?
huh? If a
I said
ball
the
is
first 2 questions are easy.
A and B. So anytime you see the word
Yeah.
maximum or minimum, do you remember what does it mean? What you're trying to find? Max or min means what? You're finding the vertex. So A and B, A is asking at what time you go to the maximum height, and B is saying what is the maximum height. So vertex has 2 points. One is the x value, one is the y value. In this equation, our x value is the time and y value is the height. So in A, we are finding the x value of the vertex. In B, we are finding the y value of the vertex. So it says you are on top of a building and for some reason you decided to throw a ball. So you're throwing a ball upward and then at some point the ball will go on the ground. They're asking at what time you get the maximum height and what is the maximum height in A and B. So basically you're finding vertex. So let's find vertex for A and B. X is the negative B over 2A. So we have our A is negative 16 and our B is positive 320. So negative 320 over 2 times negative 16. So you get negative 320 divided by negative 32. Negative cancel out. 32 cancel out. You get 10. So X is the time. So after 10 seconds, you reach the maximum height. The second question is asking, what is the maximum height? Means the y value of the vertex. So you take this 10 and substitute into your function. Negative 16, 10 squared, plus 320 times 10, plus 530. So negative 16 times 100 plus 3200. Multiplying by 10 means you're just getting 1 0 extra, plus 530. So here you get negative 1600, positive 3200, 530. So 1600 minus 3200 is 1600. And you are adding 530. So 530, when you add, you get 16 plus 5 is 21, 30. So feet. 21, 30 feet is the maximum height. You reach the maximum height after 10 seconds of throwing the ball. So this is A and this is B. Now C is asking at what time the ball will reach 50 feet, and D is asking when the ball will hit the ground. So when the ball hits the ground, our height of the ball is 0. And when the ball reaches 50 feet, our height of the ball is 50. So in C and D, they gave us the height, means the Y value. So Y value is 50. Our equation is negative 16t squared plus 320t plus 530. So you set the right side or the left side equals to 50. And for D, you set the left side or right side equals to 0 because the height is 0. Now it looks like these two are calculated question. In the exam, I'll try to give something smaller so that you can work easily. So you subtract 50 from both sides. You get 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 320t plus 530 minus 50 or something. 0 minus 0 is 0. 13 minus 5 is 8. 480. Now it looks big numbers, but if you observe, all of these numbers are divisible by 16. So you can divide by negative 16, negative 16, negative 16. And you get t squared minus 16 goes to 32 twice, so 20t. 16 goes to 48 3 times minus 30 equals 0. Right? 16 goes to 32 twice. 16 goes to 48 3 times. And two numbers multiplied to 30 combined to 20. Is it factorable? Oh yeah, 3 and 10. No, 20 doesn't work. In the exam, I'm going to give you something that is factorable. So you factor and then you solve for t. If one of the t is negative, then you disregard because time cannot be negative. So same thing here. All of this will be, whatever I give, they will be divisible by 16. So we're going to divide everything by 16, and then it will be factorable. And then you said its factor equals to 0. Okay. So either I'm going to give you something factorable so that you can factor, or I'm going to skip C and D, and I'm going to give only A and B. For A and B, we don't care about what number we have. All you have to do is find the vertex. Any question? So all of these are part 1. So 1.5 hours on part 1. And then the last half hour will be on part 2. This is the calculator part. So make sure you bring a scientific calculator. Otherwise, you cannot do part 2. Here, it's same as the question we did before. But previously, it was, we didn't need calculator because it was smaller number. And here you're going to do the same thing, but with bigger number. So the population is given by this equation, and they're telling us this is the population, means this number here is 27,000 e to the 0.12t So you do the same thing. First, you need to get rid of this 17,000. The 30, cancel out the 30. Yeah, 27 over 17. And now since you're solving for t, so you need to bring the t down. So in order to bring it down from the top, you need to go to E, you need to go to ln. So E and ln, they cancel out. And you get 0.12 t here. To solve for t, you divide by 0.12. So you punch this in the calculator, and then whatever you get, that's your answer for t. So make sure you have a calculator that you know how to use.
Professor, I'm gonna start heading to campus. Is that okay?
Okay, no
All
problem.
right. Hope you get better and see you on Thursday.
Thank you. The next one is talking about compound quarterly. So you need to remember the formula A equals P1 plus R over NT. You need to memorize this formula.
Miss, will you provide you won't provide the formulas, right? We gotta memorize them, right?
Yeah, you should memorize. So A is the final amount. So here it says you need 14,000 in 8 years. So 14,000, the final amount, and T is 8. It's asking how much you need to invest today, means P, what is your principal? And interest rate is 7, means R equals 0.07. And then compound quarterly. Quarterly means you're doing how many times in a year? If you do something quarterly, how many times you do it? Or how many quarters you have in a dollar? 4.
4.
So you have all the information. The only thing you don't know is P. So to solve for P, you divide both sides by that. So they cancel out. Our P is A equals, so A divided by 1 plus R over N, whole thing to the power NT. So you substitute 1 plus 0.07 over 4, and then N is 4 times 8. You go to the calculator and you punch this, you get the answer. We did this question in the class. If you need to know the answer, you can simply watch the class recording. In the next one, you have to use change of base formula. Otherwise, you're going to lose points. The change of base formula, it says if we have log, let's say B and A, the change of base means you're doing log of A divided by log of B. So in here we have log of 479 divided by log of 5. And then you punch in the calculator, whatever you have, you write down the answer. The next one says compound continuous.
Miss, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So I have a formula for the previous question that you did. I have future value equals present value over 1 plus Rn parentheses NT. Will that be fine if I use that formula? Because all I did was just switch the present value and the future value, and then I solved it that way. Because we're looking how much should you invest today? So it was looking for the present value.
1 plus R over N and then NT, right? Right, Omar? Future value is present value times 1 plus R over N. Yeah.
The present value is over.
Present value divided by.
Denominator. Yeah, exactly.
No, it should be the other way around. Present value is future value divided by 1 plus R over N. So if you use this formula, the
It
left
is
side
that
should
way.
be
That's how I
present
used
value,
it.
not future value.
Yeah, that's what I did. But the original equation is future value first, but then you switch it to what you're looking for. So that's what I did.
And value should be alone on one side and everything else on the other side. Which is same as the formula I did here. So yeah, sure, no problem. But be careful about what you have on one side. Is it the present value or future value? And then compound continuously means A equals part PE times P times E to the RT. So initial investment means P 2250 E to the 6 years, so time is 6, and the future amount is 3100. That means the only thing we don't know is the interest rate. So since you're solving for R, you need to bring R down on the coefficient. So first you need to divide by 2250. So we get 3100 divided by 2250 e to the 6R. Now to bring 6R down, we go get the help from the ln. So we apply ln on both sides. E and ln cancel out. So we get 6R alone. To solve for R, we divide by 6. So whatever we have, that's here R. But you have to write it into 2 decimal places, 1,000 places. The next is talking about distance. The distance between 2 points is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared under the square root. So if this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2, all you have to do is replace them into the formula. X2 is 6 minus -4 plus y2 is 7 minus -1, or -1 minus 7. Under the radical. So here we add, so we get 10 squared plus -8 squared. PEMDA says do the inside first, parentheses, and then exponent. So we get 100 plus 64. So 164. And this is divisible by 4. So it's 41 and 4. Square root of 4, square root of 41. That gives us 2 square root of 41. Finally, the last question. So here, 3 questions are given, but in the exam, I'm going to give only 1. And there are 3 different scenarios. In the first scenario, our x is on the power. So in order to bring it down, we go get the help from ln. So you apply ln to both sides. As a result, the power here comes down. As a coefficient, we get 2x minus 2. ln of 3 equals ln of 2. To get this x alone, we need to get rid of everything else one by one. So we first get rid of ln of 3. We get 2x minus 2 is ln of 2 over ln of 3. We add 2. So we get 2x. And then we divide by 2. So to cancel out. So this is our x. You punch this in the calculator. And then you get the answer. In the next one, our e to the x is not alone. So in order to solve for x, first you need to get rid of the extra things. So we get rid of the minus 4. We get 3 e to the x equals 5 minus 4, which is 1. Then we need to get rid of the 3. So we get e to the x is 1 over 3. And then we can apply ln because our exponential term is alone. So we apply ln to both sides. E and ln cancel out. We get x equals ln of 1/3. You punch this in the calculator, and that's the answer. In the next one, our ln is alone. And ln has an argument, but we don't care. As long as it doesn't have any coefficient or anything extra, we can apply e to both sides. So e and ln cancel out. We get 2x minus 3 equals e to the 6. Now this becomes normal algebraic equation. So to get the excellent, we add 3. We get 2x equals e to the 6 plus 3. The last thing we do is divided by 2. So whatever we have, that's our answer. So again, I'll give one of these 3. So you guys should know about all 3 scenarios. For exponential, there are 5 scenarios. For logarithmic, I think there are 4 scenarios. So you should know all these scenarios. Some of them will be in the non-calculated portion. Some of them will be calculated portion. And with this, we are done with the entire sample test.
Question.
Go ahead.
Will the exam be like the last one where you will provide like a few questions and then choose one, and the next one will be the extra credit?
Yes. Whatever you do after the required one, everything will be extra credit.
I bet. Thank you.
So we went over every question. As long as you study this simple test, you'll be fine. And the actual exam will have the same format, same everything. I'll just omit few questions, 1 or 2 questions. And most of the questions you see here are final exam questions. So we're going to see them again in the final exam. Most of them. Any question from anyone before you leave?
Post this, right?
Huh?
Video?
What did you say? I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I'm gonna post the video, like the recording.
Yeah, I'm going to post it after a few hours. Okay, so goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, miss. You have a nice day. Feel better.
Thank
See you
you.
on Thursday.
Make sure you guys bring calculator in the next exam. Okay, so bye, everyone. Good luck with that exam.